You have decided to trust Caradoc, at least for now. You have embarked on your journey towards the Horns of the South. But as soon as you found yourselves at sea, black clouds gathered over your heads, like tangible proof that there must be some curse on you. Soon the wind was howling, and the gargantuan waves were towering over you. You found yourselves in the heart of a storm. The only thing you remember is the deafening roar of cracking wood, and then darkness.
Look what you've done, you fool. It's always the same with you. Beat them up first, ask questions later, damn it. And now we have no gold, no nothing, just a pile of old stones and a dead body.
No, come off it. Let's just take what he had and let's get out of here.
What he didn't have shut. A piece of iron and a slip of paper. You can't even wipe your ass with it. And you said he was supposed to be some great lord.
Greetings, kind. Sir? Madam? Right, so, would you perchance be interested in browsing my wares? Only the finest Avalon can offer, and I, the finest I can offer, that is. Right, of course, silly me. Oh, you'll have to excuse me, I have very bad eyesight. This is a thing that happens to humans, right? I mean, I'm pretty sure it is. Aha! That I do. It's really hard being a human, isn't it? We can get hurt so easily. Even falling from a tree could kill us. Can you imagine? Or we could catch an illness that makes our skin crack and blister. Ugh. Not to mention aging. Don't even get me started on aging. Honestly, being a human sounds so horrifying. I mean, it is horrifying. Anyway, where were we? I'm really not, am I? Oh, I've only been doing this for a short time. A century or so, maybe. I don't have all that many regulars either. Most people either curse at me or run away. I don't understand it. I'm not trying to eat them or even kidnap them. And then there are those who accuse me of trying to trick them. Excuse me! I'm just trying to sell them some trinkets or pretty flowers. Where's the trickery in that? I'm sorry. It was... wait, how did it go? Oh, very unprofessional. I guess I'm a little frustrated. I just want to be able to give people things so they can give me gold coins in return. I like them. They're very shiny. I'd just be grateful if you didn't try to sell me any weapons. Or nails. Or buckets with iron handles. It's not that I have anything against things made of iron. I simply don't condone violence, that's it.
goes there? Are you the one responsible for all that racket? People here are trying to rest in peace, damn it. You should be. These folks fell into their eternal slumber a long time ago, but some of them have turned out to be very light sleepers. Not their fault, but we should at least try not to wake them up. I'm telling you, ever since people started burning their dead, it's like they've forgotten proper manners in places like this. My name's Cuanacht, and I'm the keeper of this place. I look after the dead, or at least try to. It used to be much easier where they stayed in one place. Now I need to keep making sure they don't stray too far from the cemetery. But I'm not complaining. A little exercise is good for the body. Dead, alive, what's the difference? I am here. I always have been, and I always will be, until the day I'm released from my service. Truth be told, I'm not quite sure. Has it been a long time since the wave came and swallowed the village? That was when people stopped coming here. It's like the sea washed away the memory of this place as well. I don't remember much of what happened afterwards. I must have fallen asleep for a while. I know everything that happens here. If you're looking for some juicy gossip, Becca from the third row south still has no idea where her husband is. They were supposed to be buried together, you see, but he never showed up. The scoundrel. Everyone here thinks he got remarried and chose to rest with his second wife. Not me. I think he probably got eaten. Oh, that would be Master. He's been at his experiments again, I'm afraid. Getting the folks around here all agitated. Putting them back to sleep again is going to be such a chore. Master is Master. He commands the dead. I don't know much else. I'm here to serve, not to ask questions. Dunno. Usual. Glowing chalk, candles, and dead bodies. I even saw some new faces recently, but they didn't stay long. It might be. Do you think it's odd that I don't seem to know that? Maybe I forgot. My memory is not what it used to be. You want me to betray his trust that easily? We barely know each other. I wouldn't tell you even if I could. He promised to bring back my family. Truth be told, it's been so long that I'm not sure it's even possible anymore. But I'm happy where I am. The dead need company too, you know. The folks here were forsaken by the living. At least I can make sure they're not lonely.
birthday shop. Your wealthy dogs. You're only making me angrier. What a whip! You're finished! Your gold belongs to us now. Is that supposed to work? You're no match for our band. I'll make you pay for that! A world of hurt!
be prepared for anything.
Stay away from... What's happening? In the name of the All Mother, what are you doing? I could have stabbed you. Wait, I haven't seen you before. Not. I'm not. I could have sliced you up like a fish. No. Like a potato. But I didn't, did I? All right, true. Why didn't you, eh? You could have killed me. So you're not one of them bandits, then? Who are you, huh? Oh, this pin. I can't say I see it very clearly right now. But it looks important. Very official. But I remember Fergus said something about this. These emblems once. Oh, yes, I remember now. I welcome thee, ye royal person, on behalf of the keepers. You are a great friend to our home. Welcome. Please speak with Fergus. He's our quartermaster. He runs things round here in the captain's absence. He'll greet thee properly. Have a pleasant rest of the day. Open it up, boys!
Welcome. In the name of our eternally reigning majesty, King Arthur, and the Knights of the Round Table, I am obliged to inform you that fighting those who actively break the law and reject the rule of the crown is the duty and pride of every subject. As Camelot's representative, I will be paying a bounty of 10 gold pieces for the death of each bandit roving the area, as long as adequate proof is provided. Really? You fought bandits and killed them? Ooh, I want to hear all the details. Here's your reward, but promise you'll tell me everything. Again? You really like killing, don't you? Do you pierce them with arrows from afar? Or do you prefer doing it up close to watch the light fade from their eyes? I have so many questions, but for now, here's your reward. Incredible! You're a born killer, aren't you? Listen, instead of cutting down scum, maybe you'd like to hunt bigger game. Just let me know if you're interested. I'll be able to point you in the right direction, and here's your reward. Have you ever heard of Rusty Ardgal? A couple of months ago, he slaughtered some important red priest and their guards, so Camelot put a sizable bounty on his head. I'll mark on the map where Ardgal and his gang were last seen. I'm curious if you'll be able to handle him. I heard he's one tough son of a bitch. Great work! I've got another job for you. Fingerless Comb is wanted for killing 2 keepers. I'll show you on the map where he might be hiding. I'm impressed. Would you like to track down more vermin? Send on the giant who robs travelers on the roads, and if he's not satisfied with the contents of their purses, he cracks their heads open. Here, I've marked where you can find him on the map. That's correct. My name is Killian. I was sent here from the capital to see how the Horns of the South are handling the bandit problem, and also to encourage the keepers to fight. The situation with the Pict and Del Rita savages is precarious. Too bad we can't get rid of them as easily as we did the Druids. There have also been rumors that we might soon have a civil war on our hands, so Camelot cannot afford to spread our forces too thin. There are rumors that the Rita tribes want to unite, and that would mean open war with Camelot. As for those Pict savages, they've been growing bold, leaving their forest. For now, it's just been small scrimmages. But who knows how it would end. I don't really have much more to tell. It's hard to get any updates here. I only know that the new Lancelot has not been very popular, and that's putting it mildly. The Witch Morgaine would have been burnt at the stake long ago if everyone weren't so afraid of her. And then we have the commoners who seem to keep forgetting their place, and loudly demanding changes. Everything is falling apart. Well, you've probably heard about the Druids making human sacrifices by stuffing people into wicker puppets and setting them on fire. Well, the people decided to give them a taste of their own medicine. They rounded them all up, and then sent them up in smoke. Oh, how they must have howled and sizzled. Too bad I couldn't see it. Yep, made human sacrifices, prayed to the dark gods, brought the weirdness back. Bunch of bastards. Good thing they're worm food now. Most of them, the survivors have supposedly taken refuge with savages in the woods, and one of them is rumored to be hiding in the Horns area. But whether that was before or after the Charred Conclave, I don't know. Would you like to hear about him? His name was Slaudiarg. He was lurking near Blood Lake, a small pond where they used to throw the bodies of executed convicts. They say he would fish them out and use his magic to turn them into undead monsters. Supposedly, he started needing some fresher corpses, so he slaughtered one of the keepers. The Horns organized a manhunt. They found him and sentenced him to death. People say that the moment his body touched the surface of Blood Lake, the water turned red and it's been scarred since that day. Some say that Slaudiarg came back from the dead and seeks revenge. But if you ask me, it's just a tale by local simpletons. None so far. The keepers don't want to risk being turned into pincushions for a mere 10 gold pieces. Besides, the captain banned them from leaving the Horns of the South without a good reason. Too many bandits and not enough keepers. Oh, you have no idea. When I heard they were sending me south, to the very place that's crawling with bandits and barbarians from the tribes, I imagine I'd be a little closer to the action, you know? Fighting, gushing blood, screams and such like. I thought the veterans would be showing me their scars and stumps and telling me tales of how they lost their eyes, ears and limbs. Or even better, how they were ripping open throats and bellies. Instead, the only stories I hear are when those fools break their own legs when they get drunk and fall off the walls. I could be, but many people can swing a sword, but only a few have as sharp and bright a mind as I do. It's just that some people were made for fighting, while others are destined for greater things. Besides, watching and listening gives me enough satisfaction without needing to risk my life. Yeah, I've been like this since I was a child. The moment an execution is over, I'm waiting for the next one. And there were quite a lot of them in Camelot, and I like to watch where Mum punished the servants with a whipping. It's just how I am. Well, Camelot would send a group of knights with Sir Galahad at the head, and he's not interested in half measures. He'd probably burn down half the garrison, or hang them. He's done both. By the way, did you know that people who are hanged rarely die from strangulation? Usually the sudden jolt causes the backbone to snap, which separates the head from the body. A while ago I saw someone hanged in the village, and it's true. One snap, and it's done. No matter what you say about him, he's very efficient. Brutal, even by my standards, but efficient. Oh, sure, plenty. Did you know that apparently if you cut off someone's head, they don't die straight away, but remain conscious for a few moments? If someone dies in a damp, closed-off space, sometimes, but very rarely, their body creates a thin layer of wax on the surface of the skin. I heard that a body decomposes in water 4 times faster than on land. I need to think. If I remember anything, I'll let you know. Oh, hey, before you go, I can see the bloodlust in your eyes, you know. It takes one to know one. So here's some friendly advice, free of charge. If you're seeking scum to slay, you'll find bandits in the ruins of a merchant settlement nearby. It's worth visiting if you haven't already.
Sir, I haven't seen you before. I wasn't expecting any guests, and you don't look like a new recruit. And yet, Odrin let you in. He's not drinking again, I hope. Most unfortunate, but that explains why you just strutted into the horns. I'm afraid I'll have to take action. The name's Fergus, and I assume you already know that I'm the quartermaster here. Now, state your business, and please try to be convincing, or the walls of this fortress will be the last thing you'll ever see. Yes, I know. And that's why you're still standing in front of me. However, these pens were only given to certain people. They mean that in times of trouble, these people will always find a safe haven here in the Horns. And this makes me wonder, what happened to your friend? If what you're saying is true, he must have had a deal with someone well above my pay grade, and that leaves only the captain. However, if you're lying, then you might as well have just confessed to the murder of a Knight of the Round Table. But nobody's that much of a fool, I think. Fortunately for you, I've seen my fair share of morons in life, and you don't look like one. Fortunately for me, this pen only means that I'm to make sure you're safe in the Horns. Nothing about helping you out with whatever you're up to. And let me guess. If you have friends among the knights, then you'll be wanting to talk to the captain, right? Well, that ain't happening anytime soon. Because I said so. What? Did you really expect that you could just enter our keep and head straight for the captain's quarters? There wouldn't be much point in having walls and guards here if anyone could just do that, would there? Anyway, welcome to the Horns of the South. Make yourself at home. First of all, you have to prove yourself trustworthy and capable. I can't let just anyone into the captain's quarters. He's a very busy man, you see. I don't want to waste his time. We've been having trouble with the dead lately. The kind that don't want to rest in peace. There are more and more of them roaming the area. It might just be the weirdness, as it has been steadily creeping closer from the north, but somehow I doubt it. Seems like the problem lies in the old cemetery. As far as I know, the fog hasn't reached it yet. You could go there and find out what's happening. There is a local legend about a dark druid named Slaughter? Slaughter, that was it. He was a necromancer rumored to be able to raise the dead and make them do his bidding. It's quite an old legend, though, so unless he managed to raise himself from the dead, I doubt he's behind this. It's old. From what I've heard, it even predates the Horns of the South. The keepers and the people from the village below used to bury their dead there, but after the flood, it's been pretty much abandoned. Yeah, damn druids. They flooded a village of innocent people just to show everyone they're still in power. Fat lot of good it did them. I'm not gonna lie. I'm glad we got rid of them. The things they could do were... After you leave the keep, just turn left and then stay on the road. Here, I'll mark it on the map for you. The captain forbade anyone from leaving the keep, so I couldn't. And truth be told, I didn't particularly want to. We don't get many recruits, and you're, well... Your words, not mine. Good. Try not to get yourself killed, and get rid of whatever's been causing the problem. That's one of our tags. Every soldier gets one when they pledge their loyalty. I just hope the body you took it from was already cold, because killing a keeper would land you in some serious trouble. You know, here's what I'm thinking on that. If you stumble over any of our fallen keepers out there, bring me their tags. Sure, they're sworn to stay here till the bitter end, but they have families who deserve to know what became of them. It's part of my duty, but since I can't send any more beyond these walls, maybe you could lend a hand. I'll pay you for every tag you bring back. Yes? Why not? Don't tell me you're afraid. You know where to find me if you come across... If you need to rest, you can sleep in the barracks.
You? Ah, shit. Another mouth to feed. Teargas must have been off his rocker if he thinks I can feed everyone with the little he gives me. I'm serious. If we don't open the keep soon, we'll have to start eating rats. Not that I can't cook them in a way that makes you think it's chicken. It's a good thing you didn't start with calm down, or I'd have shoved my cleaver up your arse. Yeah, I'm pissed off. Because our gracious sovereigns recently decided to let in a bunch of refugees from the villages. They say they're running from the weirdness, but who knows, really? So now I have even more hungry mouths to feed. And since the captain ordered the letdown of our keep, the supplies are dwindling a lot faster than I'd like. Of course, I can make you 1,000 different dishes based on fish and krauts. But come on, even the keepers need some variety in their lives. Well, well, an adventurer, are you? Ah, I'm good for now. But if you find something interesting, you can drop it off here. And, as a sign of goodwill, I'll allow you free reign of my kitchen. If you need to cook something, go ahead. Oh, this is new. Maybe we'll get along after all. The dimwits here never want to learn, only eat.
Oi, friend. A question. Do you know why people always stop and watch a blacksmith at work? Because he's riveting. It's good to see a new face in this sad hole. Oh, of course, I forgot to introduce myself. I'm Osbrit, the local master of hammers and anvils. Do you need your blades sharpened? Not really. Especially since we went into a lockdown a while ago. People used to come and go. Now and then a ship would make a stop at the village below, but nobody's really come around since. Well, since the entire shit show that's going down everywhere. Now that I think of it, you're the first they've let in. What'd you do? Who did you bribe? Oh, so you have friends in Camelot. Good for you. Of course I do. Those pins are peak craftsmanship, and very rare at that. We only gave them out on Camelot's orders. But when I look at you, well, it's pretty obvious you wouldn't be able to beat a knight. And even if you found one already dead, you'd sooner nick his armor than a pin you knew nothing about. Either way, good for you. Yeah, after we lost 2 squads trying to take back the All-Mother's Temple from the Dalrita, our captain decided that nobody leaves the Horns. Then he shut himself in his office, without leaving us any orders. Fergus is trying to keep the lads occupied, but... just look around. Half of the people here are losing their minds, and the rest are losing their wages on drink. Sometimes I wonder, how many things can go wrong at the same time. They say that misery loves company, but here, it's like we've done something to anger the gods, and they're taking their sweet revenge. First, we started hearing that the weirdness was spreading near Grubwood. Soon after that, we saw waves of bandits approaching from there. Desperate people. It took a lot of our territory. Then, the Dalrita tribes took over the All-Mother's Temple. And after that, the supply chains from Camelot collapsed for some reason. And so on and so forth. We're in quite a pickle, my friend. We've started betting on what's going to happen next. Sea monsters? Who knows? Yes, that damned forest north of here was already cursed and creepy. But now, I've heard it's an entirely different level of crazy. They say that some men here started going dark up north. With that, the weirdness started moving. And when the weirdness gets here, well, we're fucked. But you know that. Every child has heard the stories. Truth be told, most of them are just people desperate to survive. When the villagers started dying out because of the weirdness, hunger, or raids, they lost their livelihoods, ended up with nothing to their names, and nowhere to go. So they banded together and started raiding whatever was left. Then they turned to killing each other. They're like rabid wolves. Too bad they're here now, too. That's... I don't know. It's hard to explain. They kept to themselves, perched in the mountains near the Forlorn Swords. Then something happened, and suddenly we saw ships arriving near our eastern shores. A couple days later, the tribes took over. One good thing is that the bandits aren't up to fighting with them. One bad thing, we aren't either. I heard that dew fell down the stairs and didn't break a single bone. So that's a start. Other than that, no, I can't think of anything. Ha! Friend, I wish. But the only task I could use help with might be a bit too delicate for you to handle. But unless you're a master goldsmith, then feel free to prove it. And I'll have work for you immediately. There's just not enough of them to go around. And now that we're on lockdown, there's not much demand for my services either. Ever since we lost our great mine, I've been working with scraps sent over here from Camelot. Now that I think of it, I might have a task for you. You seem like the kind of person who could wander around this damned island with no fear of getting stabbed by some bandit, right? You don't have to do this if you don't want to, but I'm so bored here. So bored. It would be nice to work on something other than Keeper's Blades again. If you happen to wander near the Forgotten Cemetery, keep your eyes open for any old relics. Bring them back, and I might be able to come up with something special for your weapons. Magical, I mean. Shh. It's one of those things that everybody knows about, but nobody talks about openly, you see. I've learned how to infuse weapons and armor with certain powers. It's a family secret passed down from my grandfather, but it's based on ancient druidic magic. It's not something you'd want to advertise here, not with all those Camelot banners hanging around. Well, if you're not up for hunting for magical artifacts, you could always bring me some upgrade materials. They can work wonders on your weapons. Basically everywhere. But if you need them, like right now, I'd start in the Sunken Village. They had a decent workshop there, and I'm sure the bandits didn't loot at all. Not with all those monsters creeping around. Which one? 'Cause we had two. Both shut down, unfortunately. Well, that's a good question, but I'm afraid I don't have an answer for you. One day we received an order to set off explosives at the entrance. Some keepers protested. They were asking about the miners inside, but the higher-ups decided to go ahead. They buried the miners alive. Maybe it was for the best, to be honest. The people who worked there was something wrong with them. And the iron they brought out of the mine, there was something wrong with that, too. Well, friend, let me stick to what I know, which is hammering on my anvil. I don't ask questions when it's obvious that the people above me don't want to answer them. Believe me, neither Fergus nor the captain wanted to talk about that cursed mine. Well, at first, the workers were terrified. They kept telling stories about whispers in the dark and that kind of thing. Then they started saying that when they were mining the ore, well, it seemed to be singing to them. We all assumed they were just overworked, you know, not getting enough sunlight or fresh air. But it was more than that. Things got worse. Some of them went mad. I've heard horrible stories about those miners from my friends who were stationed at the East Gate. The captain had no choice but to hang them all. If you were anywhere close to the East Gate, you must have seen the Blood Lake. That's where the miners' blood went. At least that's what the stories say. All I know is that ever since they sealed off that mine, there haven't been any more monsters creeping out of it. That makes me happy. Simple pleasures in life, you know. Oh, nothing special about that one. You can see for yourself. Its entrance is at the beach near the East Gate. With the materials mostly depleted, it made no sense to dig there anymore. We did get some solid iron from there, but that was when I was still young.